Mark Jeffries, God Given Talent Basketball.
Brandon Bracey, Bracey Skills Clinics, and co-director of Team Rampage.
Christopher Collins, Phoenix Fitness 24/7, co-director of YBA Youth Basketball Academy.
Marcus Kirkland, Strive of Others. That's my company. I'm the best trainer in the world. You see, they didn't say it. I'm gonna say it. You know. Oh, also assistant coach / head coach, West Coast Havoc. So basically, 3-1. So as a guard coming down court, reading the floor, calling the big over, the big comes. The real importance here is coming shoulder to shoulder, right here. If not, then the defender's gonna come in between us and it's gonna just ruin everything. But boom, I'm coming here, he's rolling. I'm looking, I'm evaluating the floor. I don't got nothing, now I'm passing here. And then Mark, you got triple threat.
And then out of the triple threat, you know, you can either catch and shoot, triple threat, drive, or also out of the triple threat, passing it out.
So now we pass it back out. 9 times out of 10, there's no real post present. So when Chris set this screen for me, as soon as we came off that, you rolled, and nothing was there. You probably 9 times out of 10, you're gonna pop back out, right? So as a coach, like, what are you looking for, you know, in your players that you coach and everything, and bringing up the ball, coming up the screen, catching? Like, what are some things you're looking at?
All right, so there's a couple scenarios when I coach my guys that I teach. So essentially, from a point guard standpoint, I always teach we come off screens to score, period. We don't come off to facilitate, we don't come off to pass unless that's a specific thing I'm looking for. My point guards know automatically we're coming off screens to score.
So when you say coming off the score, are you saying that because you want to draw that defender?
Well, I want us in attack mode. I always want us to look at our options. Eyes are always looking down, always looking at the rim. So ideally, right off that brush screen right here, that's the prime moment, one of the most, you know, opportune moments that you're going to have a downhill straight to the basket. So we always look to score first. Then when I kick it out, my guys, I always explain to my wing guys who first receive the ball, it's very similar. I got this from Jay Wright. He said the most time you're open in basketball, right, is when you initially catch the ball. That's the most time you're open in basketball. So I teach my guys, when they initially catch, eyes are down, looking to score. Everyone is always looking for their initial score. Then from that point, we create from there.
And then Mark, when you're training people and you got people here working on that triple threat.
Well, what I usually like to tell people is watch what the defender is doing first.
So I'm guarding
you know what I'm saying? If somebody's playing me like this, that's a lot of room. You know, especially if I'm a shooter, that's a catch and shoot. If the guy's up on me, you know what I'm saying? You know, to try to create more space, maybe I'll give him a jab. If he jumps off the jab, maybe I'll shoot again. Or, you know what I'm saying, maybe I'll set him up. If I jab, if I see, okay, he's a jumpy defender, all right? Then I'll jab again, and I'll go. So usually with me, what I like to do is, you know, and I tell a lot of my players, you know, when you are in the triple threat, you know, just don't go. Look what the defender is, you know what I'm saying? Look what he's doing, how he's guarding you, you know what I'm saying? If he's playing off you, and then from there decide what kind of options you want to take.
I think also picking back off that, I think a lot of guys now are getting the ball on what? Well, they're doing it automatically.
Yeah.
And they don't understand when you get to college, even in the pros, this right here, I think what? Kobe Bryant, Carmelo, they're killing you from here.
Yeah.
All this, right? That's how they're gonna kill you. Yeah. So I think it's important to do that, but also, like, for example, so we'll have you at the top, you come down, I think the importance of getting open, that's the key. Because when you get to that college level, go back, they're like this now. They're coming, they're going to deny you, right? So now we're going into what? Back door.
Exactly.
How that enters all types of things. So as a coach, again, do you teach a lot of that? A lot of backdoor stuff?
Absolutely. It's one of the easiest ways. Watching Virginia and really breaking down their defense, I watched a special on that, and their weak side defense was amazing. What they did was, it was pretty innovative. They have their initial guy literally sit on the high guy's foot. So a lot of times what they would do, they would literally sit on this guy, giving him lanes to the basket, and their weak side will move in complete unison. So what you're seeing more.
Okay, so you're saying that, so if I'm with you, you're forcing here, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna move
they're
here.
giving that lane the second they go. I mean, you had literally to show 3 guys swarming and clamping in there. So piggybacking off of what you're originally saying is, because nowadays, especially at collegiate level, especially after Virginia doing everything they did, and 2 defensive teams making it to March Madness, that's going to start to change the landscape of college basketball. People are going to look at that, and I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to steal half of it, right? What they're going to do is they're going to sit guys on the high foot. So what does that mean in terms of, you know, denying the wing? Well, if you go up top, right, you get the ball. This is what they're taught now to do this. As a coach, I have to make sure my guys understand the reaction and the read to backdoor. And there's 2 things they have to do. 1, they have to see if the guy is on their high foot and they can beat their low foot. And 3, they have to use that arm to swim through and they get through and attack. So that's what I teach my guys. Right away. If that guy is on your high foot, you read, you react, and you swim through, get easy bucket.
All right, so why do you think in AAU you don't really see defense that much? There's nobody really, and then also as trainers, we don't, well, you know, some parents don't really care. They be like, I want my kid to get better in what? Scoring. I want my kid better be a better guard, dribbling, shooting. We're not really talking about defense. So why do you think that is? You think?
I think the biggest reason is because, for one, defense is not, it's not the show. It's not the high point of a lot of basketball. You know what I mean? People say, you know, with Tim Duncan and David Robinson Spurs, they were born to watch. What people really don't realize is they made it to the playoffs for damn near a decade plus, right? That's because of Pop's defensive philosophy. You see what I'm saying? A lot of AAU has gone more towards showcasing the offensive abilities, so that's what the kids gravitate to. Think about all the media sites, Baller's Life, Baller TV. How many times do they show defensive highlights? Right? They don't. And that's the world we live in. We want to see what puts the butts in the seats, and that's offense. So AAU is kind of the residual effect of this new trend of, you know, positionless basketball. Everyone wants to be an outside shooter. 3-point shot is king. This is the 3-point renaissance. I mean, you know, everyone wants handles, right? Kyrie, Steph Curry, or be extremely explosive and athletic. With the Russell Westbrooks, guards are now scorers, bigs are now facilitators.
Don't mean to cut you off,
Yeah.
but talking about ball handling, I think people got it wrong in the sense of they'll see Kyrie and they'll be like, I want to dribble like him, right? Which is good. I mean, he's one of the best ball handlers, but they're not seeing what he's doing. Now, if you watch a lot of Kyrie clips, what is he doing? He's calling that screen over and he's getting that mismatch to break down the big. And he's using change of speeds most of the time. He's changing, stopping, misdirection, and all that, getting to the basket. But going into the ball handling, now let's talk about the post. I love watching you work in the post. So why do you think that, you know, MJ, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo, they kind of did it, in Jordan, they did it late, kind of late. It don't happen now. You don't really see it with AAU that much. You don't see it that much. You only see it
Younger,
really in the
you
post.
see it in youth because taller kids can get away with it. You have a super big 6th grader, he can just sit there and play and
So
score.
go ahead.
And a lot of it too is like what he was talking about too is even if you look at the NBA, you know, with the rule changes, it's for the offensive players, it's for the perimeter players. No more hand checking, no more being physical. You know what I'm saying? With all the rules before, everybody's out here banging, you know. With that, you can't really do that anymore. You see bigs now playing in the post. But I feel, you know what I'm saying, now I feel like it's an even bigger advantage now with a lot of guards, you know what I'm saying, where you see Kawhi, you know what I'm saying, where you see a lot of bigs now playing outside where guards are DeMar DeRozan, Kawhi Leonard, you know what I'm saying, they're taking advantage of all this space now because it's not clogged up anymore, you know what I'm saying, and that's kind of like what I kind of like to help teach with a lot of my guards is, you know what I'm saying, you can still have the perimeter game, you can still have the 3-ball, but at the end of the day, like, that mid-range game, it's always there. Like with the Houston Rockets, like they can't always keep shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start missing threes, now it's all about the gimmies around here. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, not obviously hard, but what are some things that, I remember today you said you like to feel the person out the garden.
So what I like to do is, you know, if I get the ball in the post, what I like to teach my guys first is, instead of just getting it and start banging somebody, what I like to do is I get it and I feel. Like, what is he doing? Like, okay, his hand's here, you know what I'm saying? So if his hand is here, I'm going here, you know? Or say I get it and say he's not even touching me. You know, he's playing off me like this. All right, I'm gonna square up, I'm gonna shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll get into triple threat, same thing. Or, like also, if he is up on me, like really up on me, all right, now I'm gonna bang. Now I'm gonna start pushing it back. And then from there, most defenders, you know what I'm saying, who are physical, they wanna bang, they wanna bump. But really, that's my advantage because I'm waiting for that little, you know, that little shove, you know what I'm saying? If I'm backing down to where it's like here and I'm gonna spin on this side, or another shot I like to do too, what I like to teach my guys, my more advanced guys, is pounding in and dropping the shoulder to create space, and then shooting a shot, you know, off of 1 foot or anything like that. But a lot of it to me is all about the feel. Like, you got to feel him out. You got to see how aggressive he is. You know, if he's playing off you, you know, instead of just going. A lot of younger guys just go. You know, they'll get in the paint, you know, and they'll just go, throw it up. You know, to me, I feel like playing in the post is all about patience. That's what I feel like.
So then another thing that we rarely see is moving without the ball, right? When you get to this college level, you might see a team and you be like, oh, we're gonna kill them. But then when you play them, they're making you move. Or even in the men's league I play against, there's a team, they're gonna move nonstop. They're gonna come down, so go ahead and be up top. We'll have you there. They're gonna come down, they're gonna set this down screen, you're coming up, boom. He's gonna move the corner, go ahead past that. You're gonna come set me a screen. Now, boom, I'm coming up to the top. Go ahead, bounce out. Boom, bounce out good. Boom, but they non-stop, the ball rarely hits the floor. So if you look at the championship teams, even with Dwayne Wade and LeBron or the Lakers, the ball always was moving. They had great players, the ball moved, especially the Spurs, like you said earlier. The Warriors, or even the Warriors. Now it's so ridiculous. Like, so if I'm Curry, I got the ball, and we're out breaking him down. Boom, boom, I'm taking KD right there. Then we got Clay coming to the top, and then the ball coming back over here. Now you got, you know what I'm saying, Draymond or whoever, like the ball just nonstop movement. So as a coach, how do you feel, you know, going against teams? Can you like see that automatically? I know I can. I'll look at a team and you can see it in the lane line. Like, you'll see it automatically dribbling, like, oh, they're not moving the ball for sure.
I see that. When I step into teams, I usually can recognize it within the first 5 plays, and it's really just comes. There's usually, it breaks down to like 2 or 3 groups that they're gonna fall into. One, they're gonna do a lot of flex cuts. You'll see a lot of the flex action. Another one's motion action, screen down, screen away, screen down, screen away, screen down, screen away, or dribble drive action. A lot of weave, dribble drive action. If I see any of those 3 actions, I can pretty much identify them right away and say, okay, this team's gonna move the ball a lot, right? And quite honestly, some teams and areas just statistically and typically run certain sets, like Utah. Teams from Utah, they are always a bunch of catch and shoot, 3-point shooters, run, cut, backdoor, things like that. So as a coach, you have to be able to mentally see, you know, right away and identify and get your team in the right spots to shut it down. But that can vary on the pieces they have. If they're taller than you, if they're shorter than you, if they like up tempo, if they only want to run half-court sets, you kind of have to make those judgment calls as you're coaching the game. So, you know, and that comes from experience, years and years and years of doing it. So that's how I adjust.